Hello there, everybody, and welcome to another Crowncast where we talk about stuff and stuff that goes wrong, stuff that goes right, stuff that floats into space and wants to become something truly spectacular and end up becoming a giant squid sized thing that can destroy the Earth. I'm, I'm quoting how the Gargantia anime works. So that's if you want to watch that anime. It's actually quite good one. They are actually going to have a sequel to it. How it will work, it will be interesting. It remains to be seen. Also, they're making a third season with Sword Art Online. See if they can get it back to the glory of season one. I mean, for me, I sort of think they ended the whole storyline too quickly in Sword Art Online. I didn't think it already the end of that it would all be resolved in just the first season of the first plot of it all, and then the second season it was just fucking weird how like, oh, I'm in love with my brother. Like, yay! Because you always have to do something weird. So, yeah, that's Japan and anime for y'all. Been trying to find more new animes to watch, and I watched one called Samurai Flamenco. And it's this dude who wants to become a superhero, even though he has no powers or anything like that, and it's a world without you where you don't. It's a normal world out there, and it's like, yeah, in everyday life we need a superhero. And he makes friends with a police officer. Brilliant stories. And then there's the I watched one where like they live underwater and they can breathe because they have some like holy skin and stuff, and that series just rubbed me in the wrong way. It just felt, some stuff of it just felt really really weird in it, and yeah, you have those shows with anime that's just, and because I watched one that's called Dog and Scissors, which is a dog or a person who sacrifices himself against a robber, and he ends up being reincarnated as a dog, and the woman he sacrificed himself for can actually hear his thoughts. So that's just there, and it's like, and she's falling in love with the dog, and it's I'm making a valid case for you to watch anime. Still haven't watched Attack on Titan, all of it. I watched up until like episode 19, 20 or something like that, and then just said, well, I don't feel like watching this anymore. And I also watched the miniseries Pokemon The Origin, or Origins, or I don't remember exactly how it was, but it takes on Red, who is the main guy in the first Pokemon Blue and Red. So you have that. They display that story with him trying to catch all the Pokemons and become. And then you have. Is this Green? Is the other guy's name? I can't remember the what the opposite guy's name is, the rival, but it was a loads more darker than regular Pokemon, which is it was fairly interesting to watch, and everyone used like levels and that sort of stuff, and it wasn't like oh, I got Pikachu, oh, we're best buddies forever. No, he captured all kinds of Pokemon and used them regularly and stuff, and you had Team Rocket, who were even more brutal. I mean, the fucking Cubone episode, the Marowak, holy shit. The funny thing I found about that whole freaking episode is actually the fact how Marowak. I don't want to spoil anything if people wants to, but the way that one goes down, I find it kind of hilarious that they can take humans can. Now I'm being very vague, but I don't. I mean, you have for people that haven't played first Pokemon game, you may not know what I mean about it all. So yeah, I don't want to spoil it. So you should watch that one. It's really good. If you're not interested in the normal Pokemon series, I completely understand. I mean, it's too many episodes and stuff in it is generally. I mean, I'm quite interested in how in America how it's going with Pokemon now, because most of the people that bought Pokemon X and Y were adults in Japan. So that begs to, shouldn't they make more of an adult-oriented Pokemon show series? Because I'm would think that would be kind of interesting, because there's so much stuff you could do with it. But yeah, I mean, it's from the beginning it was a children thing, but I mean I can still remember seeing the advertisements for when they first come out with Pokemon. I mean, it's a stroke of genius, the whole Pokemon thing. The funny thing is, I didn't really, when everyone was doing Pokemon, I was not getting into Pokemon. It came a couple of years later. I was like, I started to watch the anime, and I was like, yeah, maybe I should play a Pokemon game, and so I did, because I played that on. I had a Game Boy Color at some point, so I think I played the first Pokemon game there at that one. I can't remember it. It's like 10 years ago. How the fuck am I supposed to remember that? Yeah, so 10 minutes of me backtracking with my life. Yeah, so I mean, Pokemon is it's interesting how I am I'm sort of the opinion that I don't really, or not opinion, I think that they should allow you to have more moves in Pokemon now. You can't be stuck at only having 4 moves because it's I think it's too limited to what I mean. I would expect I would have wanted them to at least go up to have 5 moves in this one because just changing it up to having one more move makes it so much more difficult. It makes you also the opposition have more moves. It will just take it one step more, and you would think that it wouldn't be a bigger move, especially like if you're doing competitive wise. That would be a whole loads of different uh, move for it all, and yeah, I mean because for me it's like when I play Pokemon, I just go for all the attacking moves because I don't play competitive. So I'm like, fuck that. I'm just going to have a bunch of different of. I do like having. Um, I would like to have more the opportunity to have an extra slot so I can have try and get I don't know hypnosis like sleeping powders have those so you can alter it a little bit so you can also have be more strategic and don't use attacking moves for everything and stuff because I mean now that they have the fact that you the moves are like you can uh, have moves that are done that attacks special defense or attacks normal defense, physical or not physical attacks, and that's and I always want to have so I can do both because there's some Pokemons that are really good with just attack and defense but have really bad special things and then you can have the attack use special attack move and that sort of stuff but with only four slots that's really hard to do especially now that every Pokemon has two types almost. Everyone has more than one type, so that you have like fairy ghost. No, there's no fairy ghost. That would be weird. I wonder what that sort of Pokemon would be. Like it's a invisible butterfly. I know I have no idea what that would be. Uh, yeah, so you would have. So that's just my opinion. I spoke now more about Pokemon. Maybe I would have Anthony on again, and we will talk more about our feelings on Pokemon X and Y because I think there's too little to do when the game is when you're beaten Champions Road. Like I thought that beating it would be like okay now I've beaten it. It usually opens up a new area, and it did, but the new area is just like a mansion, and it's sort of like how it was in what the fuck Sapphire. It just opens up a place where you like go and battle stuff, and for me that's just not that interesting. I would have loved to have a higher difficult area so that you could have meet Pokemon and Pokemon trainers that go up all the way to almost level 100 because I mean, I feel it kind of sad that when you're done with the game, what are you supposed to do? I mean, I've captured Mewtwo, and so I found Zapdos several times, but he flees before you even can make a move. So you need to find either Pokemon who has the ability that the opposite opponent can't flee. I don't remember who has which Pokemon has that ability, and also or have the item so it makes the opponent not being able to escape, which is it usually means that either one of us, if you have that item, can escape, and that's fucking irritating one because you have to battle every opponent. But I mean, yeah, so that's the thing you can do after the game is done. I don't know if I'm missing something or there's like a hidden path that I haven't found, but so far I can't really find anything that would make me that's good to do after the game is done. So yeah. Yeah. Can't stop talking of Pokemon for some reason. So yes, I was going to talk about also my frustrations over Marvel Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. because I decided to watch the latest episode. I don't know, I complain so much about it, I don't know why I keep watching it. It's just, maybe it's me, but I just wants to see it like, I just expected to somewhere just get a like average at some point or get anywhere even remotely close to watchable series, but there's so many like fucking things in it, like it's I've come close to seeing like it's a cartoon, it's a kid's cartoon. That's how the show is right now. It's a fucking kid's cartoon and every character is a cartoon character, and for me it's like, I don't know, it's just so stupid, and I there's some moments in it that I'm like, what the fuck? Like Agent Coulson being so like, and the other, can't remember her name, the pilot, like, I told you so, and like, what the fuck? Seriously? I mean, you fucking hired a person who hacked into your system, and and they're like, oh, it's going to be all roses and dandelions, and like, are you fucking kidding me? It's like it makes no sense in like how people don't just do these things. It's like, and them hacking into the end part of it all was kind of okay, but it's so much stuff in it. It usually ends up being okay towards the end of the episode, but in the beginning there's so much dumb shit that they and writing. I SFT here just say that the writing isn't bad. It's just the cast, but I disagree. Just seeing how the beginning of that is, I mean, seriously. I mean, it's like they're trying to do this like it's a movie, and they're treating it like it's a movie, and you can't do it. It's a TV show. You need to build your characters in the right way. You can't build them like you do in a TV movie. They need to be more in depth than the movie character needs to be. That's the bottom line. Is that TV isn't movies, And that's where I think these it must be movie writers. I don't know. I haven't checked out who's writing it, but it's and all this like Sky is supposed to have like they're trying to build this sort of like love thing with the Mister this seal guy that's like so fucking stereotypical how that sort of character is at every time. Oh, he's that just stop that. Oh, we need to have that sort of love interest. Whoa. Fuck. I mean, if that's the things they're focusing in on, then seriously, just shoot me. I'm honest with that. I mean, it's Sky is sort of the main character along with Coulson, and I mean, this Sky character isn't that badly done. But, I mean, it's... Coulson, like, he starts... they're trying to build him up as this great, intelligent character who has all the sort of ideas and answers, but also can make mistakes here and there. But I mean, and in this last episode, how it did against Sky, I mean, like, I gave you the opportunity, and like, I mean, what the, I mean, how there's no in the right minds that wouldn't keep her on a leash and be like, okay, we need to keep an eye on her, and she has the assets being that she's a really good hacker. So you would think that, okay, but she has these connections from the beginning, and we need to make sure that she doesn't start to get into that again. But no, they just, after she proves herself once, now here you go, we fully trust you and think that you will never do anything. I mean, it's... Oh boy, it's a cartoon. So, if you like watching a kids' cartoon that's catered to adults, that makes no freaking sense. Much like the show. So, if you want to watch that, then watch it. I need to get myself not to continue watch it. It's like I want to see how bad it ends up being, and I'm rooting for it to be cancelled. It's like like a cheerleading version. Oh Jesus Christ! What the fuck? Sort of like a bird dropping from the sky. Yeah, so I'm like having like this every time I'm watching it. Come on, do the worst thing possible. I know you can do even worse. Yeah, but the main story in it wasn't that bad. But the writing and the writing interaction with the characters, with each other, and the acting itself is like, especially I mean the fucking engineer people. It's like there's so fucking bad. Yes, so that shows. I want to talk a little bit more about Person of Interest, because the last episode was, the end of that was like, oh yes, fucking yes. it was the best episode of the season, and it just struck home for every part of it. I mean, the Carter moment in the end of that one was just, oh my god, it was so great. It was like I've been expecting that moment for through the every episode, and I was just that needs to happen. I mean, I can't believe if that doesn't happen, and it's just and the ending moment was also with how it ended. Last scene was also freaking cool. So I'm excited. I was a little suspicious that Person of Interest, it has been a little bit shaky in the beginning of the season, so I was like, oh, maybe it's going to go down a little bit this season, because season 2 was really, really good. Yeah. So, yeah, that's a thing. Yeah, I don't want to. I mean, that's the thing. I don't spoil stuff for people because I want you to watch it all and just hear my reaction to how awesome that was. Like, Person of Interest, that episode was just freaking awesome and great and amazing, and everyone who was a fan of the show thought the same thing. So all I can suggest is that you watch it. White Collar has started again, so yeah, I mean, I'm up and down about my general feelings about that show, because I mean, it's kind of like there's always some like corruption, outside drama. It's always this like hidden agenda of the show. There always some plot going on. I mean, for me, it's like I really like also how the standalone, especially the first season was really great, because it's the character was striving to find something out, but I mean, you found it out in bits and pieces, and it was built really, really well. Second season was good as well, but then it's just you always have to take it up a notch. That's probably my biggest like pet peeve of American shows. Most of the times they always have to fucking outdo the other season. I mean, you can't just justify this with actually good show when it comes to it doesn't really tries to do that. It's just a different kind of plot going on. It's like they're trying to have the same standard every season, which is really hard, and they haven't really got that straight out, but they're trying. But some other shows like trying to like outdo every season, and maybe White Collar isn't that much, but I mean, it were on that way at some point, and then you have to take it back a notch, and then I don't know, the pacing of that show, I mean, it's all I can see is like them not the writers not wanting it, the sort of stuff that can't happen for it to continue on to go forth to another season, which is what I hate, when sort of stuff like limits you from not doing it. It's really, maybe you don't really understand what I mean, but I mean, it's hard to explain really, but I hope you sort of get what I'm trying to get out for y'all. Yeah, so that's a new. Supernatural is also going on right now. It's on the like, what the fuck? Need to. What season is it at? season 9. Holy crap. Um, yeah, I mean, I sort of I liked the last season, and I think this season is also doing okay so far. There's some the moment in the last episode where how that's the last scene with Castiel. If you don't know, that's the angel, and and how that scene ended. It didn't make much sense in my opinion. It's and that's kind of the annoyance I have. I mean, one of the mistakes I think they did in the last season were killing off Meg, who's a demon that was on sort of on their side, and for especially how this season is, it would have been perfect if she still were how they're trying to do this season. It would be perfect how they're doing it, but no, they're killing off that character. So yeah, I mean it's looks good so far. It's I think there's still they I'm pretty interesting to see where their angle is this season, because I think they're being going for a longer the bigger picture is the word I'm looking for. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I mean, you would think that in season 9 you couldn't, you would stop finding out more things to do with the show. But it's a great world for you to do stuff in. So I still feel like they have. Last season I thought like that was like how they were building that season was like sort of like final season-esque way to it, but so far how last season ended and how this began, they have transitioned it really well, and I didn't think they would transition it that well. But also how the last season ended, you knew that they needed another season, because ending it there would make no sense at all. So yeah, watching Sleepy Hollow as well now. It's really freaking weird show, but I like it that way. It's pretty interesting so far. Watch the Tomorrow People. That show feels just weird right now. Yeah, I watched Man of Steel this week again. Yeah, I have also another show I can talk about as well. I watched Man of Steel again this week, and it was worse than when I watched it the first time. I know some people think that's the best one ever, but I mean, my issue isn't with that much how it is like movie wise. My issue is how it is like from how I view Superman. I can see them going a darker route to it all, but having him be like his dad being like the uncle in Spider-Man. What the fuck is his name? Yeah, whatever. But I mean, how? I mean, like you haven't being everything he does is just state wisdom facts and like be like yeah I don't know what I'm talking. be like, yeah, you can't show your ability, you can't show it, don't do it, they find out who you are. And then, like, since when we're, I mean, bottom line, it should be like Clark Kent has always been like wanting to help people. That should be, even though maybe his dad did say that in the storyline, it should still be that he defy that order because he wants to help people. And that should be the main focus, in my opinion. And also, there's some moments in it like I taking her on board and don't using her, that still doesn't make a sense at all as well. Making Lois Lane just, yeah, we shove her in a cell directly, like, and this cell has a key. What fucking cell would have a way for you to just upload yourself to the ship? I mean, they must have these type of things as well. That it's just, oh my god, that part of it made so serious sense. It's just off from that standpoint. And I when I watch Origin or like a first, I want it to be epic. You want to be like, oh my god, here's the beginning of it all. You want like this, and I don't get to like, this is fucking cool. He's like, here's the, compare that to Batman Begins. I'm comparing it to that because that one was really, really good first origin story. Maybe there's stuff wrong with that too, but at least for me, it felt like they captured Batman more. And I can understand you want to make your own kind of vision of Superman, but I mean, ultimately, I just felt he didn't feel epic. He didn't feel like the great hero. I mean, the powerful hero Superman. He didn't feel like that. He more felt like a lost soul who has powers. I mean, that's what I felt about it. And also destroying a million skyscrapers. And destroying everything. If you're gonna have that sort of character, you have to, I mean, because their bottom line, they gotten away from, or at least make him acknowledge the fact that he's prepared to, he understands that a few human people will die for him to save the planet and save the rest of them. But no, you need, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's just, yeah, and the last show I want to talk about is a UK one where it's called Atlantis, which is sort of like, for me, it fills the place of where the fact that Merlin has ended, and I want to have something like fantasy-esque. And so, as a person who loves Greek mythology, it works perfectly because it's about this person who named Jason, and he goes down in this submarine, just like the submarine that you have in GTA 5, which I found hilarious. I was just just picturing picturing Trevor in it. Well, and he went down to find the wreckage of his father's submarine and see to get answers, and doing so, he suddenly something opens up a white light, and suddenly he appears in this whole other world, where he arrives at this city of Atlantis. And so you have characters named Pythagoras as the math thing, and you have Hercules, which is ironically a big fat dude, as they say about him, and like that's like the ongoing joke, and like Hercules, that's a name you can build legends on and serve stuff like that. So it's a really fun show, and they do really good job of it. So I really suggest, if at least if you're UK, you can watch it directly, or if you're in America, maybe you do it like I and download it. I don't know how safe it is for Americans to do that. So yeah, so I will end it off there before it goes on forever. So yeah, thank you guys for listening. It's been much about Pokemon and anime and TV shows today, because I it's something I regularly watch, and it's easy for me to talk about that things. So I hope you enjoyed it. You can find me as always at Markon Story, and you have my other channel, QC and Crown, and I need to upload something there tonight, so I will do that. So I think that will wrap everything up. So yeah, we'll see if I can find a guest to have this weekend, or maybe I don't know really what I will do this. I think I will do another one at least. So yeah, thank you guys for watching and listening and sharing and making this and watching, and you can also, you need to watch my cooking things, because it's not enough people watching it, and my last Chromecast didn't have enough people watching it as well. You need to watch it. It's all amazing. I need the money. I need that YouTube money. It's not like I only made $1 or something so far. Just kidding. I don't really care that much. I got my salary tomorrow, so yes, money. So yeah, thank you guys for listening, and I will see you. How many times do I need to say thank you guys for listening? Thank you guys for listening. 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 I need to say this even more. It's the best show. All we want to watch. What the fuck do you read that? Bye.